One day I was out watching my daughter ride her bike. I took my eyes off her for just a second and heard a loud horn. When I looked up, a car was speeding away and her broken body was laying in the street. I must have called the police and my wife, but all I remember is sitting there, holding Maddie's lifeless body. I vaguely recall a kind woman stopping, taking her hand, and saying this is not the end before walking away. Then Maddie's hand moved. Her eyes opened and looked at me. "Daddy. What happened?" The paramedics insisted that her injuries must not have been that severe. I just panicked and assumed the worst. But I'd seen her, held her. She was dead. Maddie's mother tried to use the accident to revisit custody, but her claim went nowhere. Life went on. The next week, I was caught in a traffic jam. Turns out a car had fatally hit a phone pole. The same car that hit Maddie. A few months later, Maddie's school called. She'd fallen off the jungle gym and landed head first. When I arrived, the principal was waiting. She apologized, insisting it was an accident. Maddie died at the hospital. The doctors said there was nothing they could have done. Her mother said I'd be hearing from her lawyer. Later, as I sat with her, she twitched. Then she started breathing and reached for me. The doctors were stunned. I wasn't. The following week, the news reported a student from Maddie's school had fallen from the 4th floor of his apartment building. The same student who'd pushed Maddie from the jungle gym, despite what the principal had insisted. That evening, Maddie asked me if the angel had done it. She spoke of a figure that had approached her after her accident. It had said not yet and touched her head and she'd awoken. Touched. The woman who'd taken her hand at her accident. That had to be it. I tracked her to the outskirts of town and demanded to know what she'd done. She revealed that, sensing my grief, she'd placed a spell that would bring my daughter back. But the cost was the life of whoever killed her. A life for a life. Horrified, I left. What did this mean? Would Maddie return every time she died? Slowly, things returned to normal. There were no more incidents. I didn't see the old woman again. One night, the phone rang. It was my ex-wife. Surprising since we didn't speak except regarding Maddie. "Jack. It's Maddie. She's not breathing." "What?" "Call 911. I'm on my way." Everything was so hectic that she didn't notice how quickly I arrived at the hospital. Or that I wasn't more distraught. Or that Maddie was already dead. If only she'd known about Maddie's recently revealed peanut allergy before she'd served those cookies. I wasn't worried. I knew Maddie would be fine. Carol wouldn't be so lucky.